You may not use Project Browser Organization all that often, but I do want to make it available to you should you choose to use it. To organize the project browser, go over to the left-hand side where you have your project browser, then select on Views. Right-click, then go to Browser Organization. From here, you have a variety of different choices just by default. Those typically include organizing it by discipline, such as architectural, mechanical, structural. Those items not on sheets, which means all items which have been placed onto a sheet will be removed. Phases, new construction, existing construction, as well as type and discipline. But you can create your own ways of organizing the project browser as well. For instance, just those things related to interiors. To create these things yourself, what we need to do first is come over here to Cancel, and we need to set up a new property. What I'd like to do is go to your Manage tab on the ribbon, then come over and select on Project Parameters. Now, depending on the resolution of your screen, it may be a big button like you see here for materials, but select on the Project Parameters button. Underneath Project Parameters, click on Add. What we need to do now is add a new parameter, and I'm just going to name it View Type, and I'll leave it as an instance parameter. For the type of parameter that it is, make it be text. This means that we can type in text so that we can name this parameter anything that we want after it's been created. Something that we can't forget is to come over to the right-hand side, scroll down, and then find Views, because we'll apply this property to all of our different project views. Then click on OK. We have View Type. Click on OK. Now, the next thing I'd like to do is find one of our views, such as underneath 3D views, our kitchen from dining. Scroll down, and here we can see underneath text, it was a text parameter that we added. We have an option here called View Type, and we can type in whatever we would like to name this type of view, such as ID for interior design. If we just click on Apply, we now have a view type called ID. We could do the same thing on any of the other plans. One exception, though, may be your floor plan views that we created earlier, which has ID floor plan. Now, the reason why this view may be an exception, and we can see that it's grayed out if we look at its properties, is that it currently has a view template assigned to it. So if we wanted to make changes to it, we need to make changes inside of the template for this type of view. We can find our view templates underneath View, go to View Templates, then Manage our view templates. Click on ID, scroll down, and here we can see we have that view type. If we click, we'll get a listing of all the different view types that we've typed in up to this point. In this case, we've only typed in ID, so that's what shows up. So I clicked on the down arrow, I selected on ID, and now I'm going to click on OK. And that means that all views that have that view template assigned to it now have ID associated with it as being the view type. Now this is where things get interesting, because now we can organize our project browser by that view type. We come up here to Views, click on Views All in the project browser. We can right-click and go to Browser Organization. Select on New, because we want a new way to organize our project browser. I'll name it View Type. Now this could be any name that you want, just give it a name that you'll recognize. Click on OK. Filter by, then select on View Type on the pull-down list. We want it to be equal to ID. Click on OK. put a check mark next to view type, click on OK. Now, for everything underneath views, just those things which have the view type of ID are now there on the list. If we want to see all the others, we can once again right-click, go to our browser organization. We could select on all, click on OK, and we get all those other kinds of views back. If we wanted to add views, we could. For instance, go to second floor, come down to our view type. We could pick ID, and now it will be on that list when we switch back. We also could do the same thing with all of our architectural plans. So if we came in here to our floor plans, go to level 1. For view type, we'll just call it arch. Do that for level 2. Come down here to site, click on site, and then type in arch for the view type. We come here to views all, so select on view all, right click, go to browser organization. Once again, do it by the view type, click on OK. One of the things that you'll notice is that now you're not seeing those for the architectural. The reason is because of the way that we created our organization here in the project browser. If we right click, go to browser organization, here we have view type. Let's just rename that to be ID. Let's create another one, which is new, and call it arc or arch. Click on OK. And now this time we want to filter it once again by the view type and make sure that it's equal to arch. Click on OK. Click on OK. Now, one final time, come in here. We want to change our browser organization. We can just come here to views, right click, go to the browser organization. Instead of ID, change it to be arch. Click on OK. And now just those ones that have been assigned arch for architecture show up here in the project browser. I also want to point out that instead of right-clicking, we also have the option here on the type selector list to click and then choose which kind of organization that we want to use. So we could go to ID. Now we just see those interior design views, okay? And we can see that that's the case down here. If I come up here, come back up here to arch, now we're just seeing the arches. We can come back up here to all, and now we can see all of our views coming back. So you can use the project browser organization to just see those files which are specific to the disciplines that you want to look at.